So the session we're going to be doing right now is orientation in admin. You have access to the admin only if the user was defined as someone who has the checkbox for admin. When we go into admin in our system, it's divided up into areas. The site settings is the most basic. In the account details, this is where you change the logo. The license management just show you how many licenses you have and what type of licenses there are. There's suspend, which is users that worked in the company or they don't need access to the system anymore, and then it doesn't take up a license. Going back to admin, this is where you add users. So the little plus button is always how we create new users. So you've got the name, display name, email, the license type, the job title, and this is where you define if someone has access to admin or not. So if you want them to have admin in the main menu, this little checkbox has to be marked. The way they see dates is important, if it's just the format of the date, and you can add an image or not. So once you've added a user to the system, in order to give them access to certain areas in the system, you need to link them first of all to a group, and then through the group, you can connect them to different projects. So if I just choose Eran's user, then there are 2 additional tabs for each user. So there's the groups. The group is what defines the permissions. So if you have 10 engineers, you put them all in the same group, and the permissions of what they're allowed and not allowed to do in the system are defined on the group. Now, a user can be linked to more than one group. If I want to connect you to an additional group, let's call it the DMS manager as an example. And now if Eran's user linked to 2 different groups. And now if I go to the tab of the projects, you can see these are all the projects and solutions that you can see in the system. So if I wanted to connect Eran's user to a new project, from the list of groups you're connected to, if I want to give you access to that project as system administrator or as a DMS manager, right? So in terms of connecting a new user to a group is the first step, and then you can add projects according to the groups they're in. Going back to admin, if I look at groups, now I'm not looking at a specific user. I'm looking at a whole list of groups, and it will show me all the users that are part of these groups and what projects they're in those groups. Final thing is actually managing projects. So if I click projects, if I just choose any project here at random, I have a tab also for users. So it will show me each user and what group they're in this project. And also a tab here for groups that will show me each group and which users are in that group.